Good morning, students. Today we will revise English Supplementary Reader, Chapter 9, The Comet First. Students, just see the characters. Dattada, an amateur scientist. Amateur means non-professional. Indrani Devi, Dattada's wife. Dr. James Forsyth, professor at King's College, Cambridge. And Sir John Marshall, Defense Science Advisor. Okay, students, Manoj Dattada, he was a non-professional scientist, and he had a sacred ambition in his life that he would one day discover a new comet. Okay, so as an amateur scientist, he had longed for enough money to buy a good telescope and enough spare time to observe the sky, and he got both of them when he got retired with sufficient money. At that time he bought a telescope, a 8-inch telescope, which he installed, and he started spending his time in stargazing. Okay, Dattada named his telescope Divya Chakshu, but to Indrani Devi, the telescope was like a wicked woman who had trapped her husband, so she called it Divya. Okay, so Dattada had the sacred ambition to discover a new comet. He was very hopeful. He knew that the professional scientists, they had their pre-planned programs, and they would be looking at faint stars and hazy galaxies. That's why they might miss, the professional scientists might miss such an insignificant thing as a comet, because they were not expecting to see anyway. And he also knew that non-professional scientists had often discovered new comets which the professional had missed. And it seemed Dattada one night that it was going to be the big night, because on the same night he had noticed a faint star, a faint stranger. He re-examined the charts, he checked his Divya, and after that he did some calculations on his pocket calculator, and after that he became sure that there was no mistake, and what he was looking at had not been there earlier, and it was just similar. It was looking like a new comet. And after 2 days the news came that Sri Manoj Datta, a resident on northern outskirts of Calcutta, had discovered a new comet. Okay, he had discovered a new comet. After that he informed about that new comet to the Indian Institute of Astrophysics. Then after that the Indian Institute of Astrophysics confirmed the findings of Manoj Dattada, and after that it was named Comet Datta. This brought an unwelcome publicity to Dattada. There were a lot of receptions and functions he had to attend, he did not want to attend, he did not want such kind of publicity. He said that he wished he had not discovered that comet. Then his wife also agreed, but the reason of her, but the reason was not same. She agreed because she thought that comets bring misfortunes. Comets bring ill, and she thought that a good man like her husband was not associated with the discovery of comet. The Dada laughed, and he told that there is no correlation between the arrival of a comet and the misfortunes and calamities of the earth. Okay, so the Dada had told his wife that the comets were harmless, the comets were not dangerous, and there was no correlation between the arrival of the comet and the disasters of the earth and the misfortune on the earth. Okay, students, Dr. James Forsyth, he was a professor at King's College, Cambridge, and he was also aware about the comet. He also knew that the comet was approaching near the earth. Okay, so he wrote a letter and he sent that letter to a scientific magazine, Nature. The name of that magazine was Nature, and he wanted that his letter should be published in that magazine immediately. Okay, but the editor of that magazine, Nature, Mr. Taylor, he sent that letter to Sir John McPherson, who was the defense science advisor. Okay, and he sent that letter to him and he asked Sir John McPherson's advice. Okay, Sir John McPherson did not want the paper to be published immediately, and that's why he sent for Dr. James Forsyth. They talked on that topic, and he asked Dr. James Forsyth if he realized what would happen if comet Datta collided with the earth as he predicted. Then Dr. James Forsyth replied that the effect would be calamitous, dangerous, and that is why he had taken extra care to verify his calculations. Okay, so he said that within 10 months the comet was going to collide with the earth. It was the calculation of Dr. James Forsyth. So, Sir John McPherson told him that he thought that they need more than 2 brains to handle that situation, and it was very essential to call an urgent meeting of experts from all over the world to think over the comet, means how the collision will be removed, how the way of that comet would be removed. That's why uh, he advised Dr. John Forsyth that he should add many ifs and buts to make his conclusion appear not so certain. He said that you should add many ifs and buts to make your conclusion appearing not so certain. And after that, he said that within a week he would call that international conference to plan about the about the removal of that comet, to plan about the removal of the way of that comet. Okay, Dr. James Forsyth thought that it was an impossible task, but Sir John Macpherson disagreed and he started to clarify the details. Okay, students, thus chapter 9 is over. Okay, students, now see chapter 10, the comet Secchi. When Dr. James Forsyth and Sir John Macpherson, when they finished their discussion, okay, Sir John Macpherson dropped Dr. Forsyth at his hotel, and when Dr. James Forsyth went to attend the conference, he was surprised to see that all the experts who were invited were present there, and Dattada was also invited. Sir John Macpherson also invited Manoj Dattada. Okay, whatever the doubt he had, that was dispelled, that was removed when he saw that all the experts, means astronomers, computer scientists, nuclear physicists, space technologists, biologists, all were present there. Okay, and the conference lasted 1 week and went on under total cover of secrecy. Means whatever had happened there, that was secret. First, the experts checked and they rechecked James Forsyth's calculation with the latest observation of comet Datta, and after that he found that Dr. James Forsyth was right and there was no chance from the direct hit that was predicted by him. Okay, there was a small chance that comet may touch the atmosphere of the earth and not collide. Okay, so the expert decided to take some actions, and they decided to take the defensive actions, and the defensive action was to live in underground bunkers. But it was not possible. It was not a practical proposal. So they decided to take offensive action. Okay, and comet Datta could be slightly turned from its path by giving it a push. So all the scientists decided to take an offensive action to push, to turn the comet from its path by giving a push. The experts, the scientists thought, they decided that a huge nuclear explosion, if it would be suitably placed, if it would be suitably directed, and if it would be suitably timed, then it could do the work, means it could turn the path by giving a push to comet. Okay, so they also decided that this thing could be done by placing the nuclear equipment in a spaceship and sending it to stop the approaching comet and making it explode by remote. the scientists, they decided that the nuclear equipment would be sent in a spaceship, and after that the way of that approaching comet would be stopped by making it explode. And after that, at last a timetable was drawn up for the operation, which was named Project Light Brigade. And the important dates were: on October 10 they would dispatch the spacecraft, and on 15th of November the comet would meet with that spaceship, and on 15th December, if the experiment failed, this was the day the comet would hit the earth, and if the experiment succeeded, this was the day the comet would pass by at a near but safe distance. Okay, so all the preparations were done by the experts of that conference, and after that the Tada asked Sir John McPherson if he thought they would succeed in that plan. The Tada said that he would give an honest answer, and he said that he was not going to buy any Christmas present till 15th of December. Okay, so the Tada returned his home from there. When he returned, he found another crowd. It was another crowd that was gathered under a pandal, and he found that his wife had arranged a yajna, and she had called the priest to bless him because he had discovered the comet. Okay, he has been informed that the priest had recommended a Shanti Yajna to pacify the evil spirit behind the comet. Okay, so the Tada did not participate in that, did not perform in that Shanti Yajna, and he said that there was no connection with the disaster on the earth and the comet. Then, since his return from London, the Tada was in regular correspondence with Sir John McPherson. Okay, so both of them, and in that time, their friendship had grown up, and they appreciated each other's talent. And in the middle of October, the Tada got a letter from Sir John McPherson, and he had informed the Tada that the project of the Light Brigade had started, and they should hope for the best. So the Tada was very anxious. He could not share his anxieties. He could not share his concern with anyone around him. He had to participate and enjoy the puja, the festival also, and he spent his time with the company of his grandson, his 8-year grandson, whose name was Khoga. On 18th of November, a special messenger on a scooter from the British Council brought an urgent telex message for him, and it said it was the letter from John McPherson, Sir John McPherson, and it was written in the letter that Sir John McPherson was confident that now he would buy his Christmas present on December 15. It was written that he was confident now of buying his Christmas present on December 15. On December 15, comet Datta came very closest to the Earth at a distance of 80,000 kilometers. Millions people saw it and admired it. Only a very few persons knew how close they had come to the total destruction. When the comet had gone away, the Dada felt it safe and he said to his wife, "Now that the comet came and went, are you satisfied that no major disaster took place that can be attributed to it?" She told that she agreed that there had been no major disaster, but there could have been some. And she asked if we knew how they had been averted, how they had been removed. She told that there were no disaster because of the Shanti Yajna at their house. Okay, Indrani Devi informed, she told her husband that the disaster did not take place. The misfortune did not happen because of the yajna at their house. The Tada was informed that his grandson Hoka, he had performed that yajna. Then the Tada formed a mental picture of Hoka performing the yajna, uttering mantras, and after that pouring he had specified fire, offering flowers, and after that again at the same time the pictures changed to an assembly of the scientists at the conference, and they were analyzing the problems, they were searching the solution, they were thinking about the solution, and they were performing that they were thinking the solution about that disaster. And after that, the Tada was shocked when he came to know, when he heard that his wife was saying that the misfortune did not happen because of Shanti Yajna. He wondered that even in that period, in that age, the rational, the logical, and the superstitions are existing together. They are moving together. Means people have faith in superstitions also. That's why. But the gap between the logical things and the the gap between the logical things and irrational beliefs are too wide. He wondered that even in this age, the logical and the superstitions exist together, though the gap between the two was too wide, too broad. Okay, so students, this chapter is also completed. You will revise this chapter as well as the chapters of periodic test second also. You have to revise because the question will be asked from the chapters of periodic test second as well as the annual syllabus. So you will revise chapter 6 and 7 also. That's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.